Hey, hi everybody. So I'm going to take you through something that I referenced in one of the last videos that I did, which is the amount of time that Enoch was raptured before the flood. Part of the reason I want to go through this is because I received a follow-up comment that said that somebody doesn't see Noah as a type of Israel. And when you go through these, but this person understands that the church and Israel are separate and dealt with separately. So innately, they would need to understand that the 69 weeks of years out of the 70 weeks were accomplished prior to the church. The 70th week will be accomplished after the church, and neither have anything to do with the church. They have to do with Israel. If you understand that, and if you understand that the 70th week is that the flood was a type and shadow for the 70th week, then you should understand that Enoch being raptured 69 years before Noah was born is the type and shadow of the church, of which Enoch is a type and shadow of the pre-trib rapture. The church was absent for those 69 weeks of years, Enoch being absent from the world 69 years before Noah was born. So let's go through this. And this is evident. When you understand the typology, it is evident that Noah represents Israel, who will be on earth to go through the 70th week, to be preserved through judgment, to come out the other side and to replenish the earth, as Noah's family was instructed to do after the flood. So this is actually pretty simple. What we're going to do is we're going to jot down the ages of, and this is how you can ascertain the year of the flood also, but we're going to jot down the ages of each person when their next person in the genealogy was born. So how old was Adam when he had Seth? Do I need to move this over? I think I'm good. Adam lived 130 years, begat a son in his own likeness after his image, called his name Seth. So 130 years, okay? Seth lived 105 years and begat Enos, okay? Enos lived 90 years and begat Canaan. I'm skipping verses just to get to the point. Canaan lived 70 years and begat Mahalalel. Mahalalel lived 60 and 5 years and begat Jared. Jared lived 160 and 2 years and begat Enoch. Enoch lived 65 years and begat Methuselah. Methuselah lived 187 years and begat Lamech. Lamech lived 182 years and begat a son and called his name Noah. And Noah was 600 when the floodwaters came. And we find that actually he was 500 years old when he begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And then in Genesis 7:6, it says he was 600 when the floodwaters came. So we can make this bigger. Okay, make this bigger. We're done with the Bible part of it. And the flood came 656 years into world history. So what I have plotted out is that world history probably began in 4003 BC, 656 years later, this minus this, the flood occurred in roughly 2347 BC. So that's how you do that. However, let's find out how long before Noah was born Enoch was raptured. Okay, so Enoch was 65 years old when he begat Methuselah. Between the time that Enoch begat his child and the time Noah was born was this plus this, 369 years. But what did it tell us? We go back here. We weren't quite done with this. It says Enoch lived 60 and 5 years and begat Methuselah. Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years and begat sons and daughters. All the days of Enoch were 365 years. Enoch walked with God and was not, for God took him. So between the birth of Methuselah and the birth of Noah are 369 years. Enoch lived an additional 300 years into that before he died. So there were 69 years on this earth absent of Enoch before Noah was born. When you are looking into types and shadows, and you know from the Olivet Discourse in Matthew 24 that the days of Noah are a reference to the judgment and the end of the world, the flood that's going to come and take everyone away. That is an end times picture of judgment at the end of Daniel's 70th week. And you know that Enoch walked with God and was not, for God took him. 69 years before Noah was born. This is a type and shadow of the church, whom Enoch represents a pre-trib rapture of, being absent from the first 69 weeks of the 70 weeks prophecy, being absent from the 70th week also on account of having nothing to do with the life of Noah and subsequently nothing to do with the flood at all. This is the type and shadow that the church and Israel do not coexist, that the church had nothing to do with any of Daniel's 70 weeks, including the 70th week. We will be gone, just like Enoch was gone 69 years before Noah existed, was therefore absent for the first 69 weeks of years, absent for the flood, which is a foreshadow of the 70th week. It has nothing to do with us. So for someone to say that the days of Noah is not a reference to Israel and doesn't regard the remnant going through the flood and coming out the other side to replenish the earth rather than being removed from it altogether is frankly a comment I specifically just don't understand, because there's a story in the numbers here and there's a story in the typology, and that's really all we need to know.